Hello everyone, welcome to today's training session after the long break, and I would also like to thank you guys for all of your viewership. That now the channel has been monetized, and as long as you people will be watching my videos and appreciating it and suggesting any new topics. So as far as those topics I can be as per my availability, I will be recording the videos and will be uploading to YouTube, so that new guys who want to learn X++, who want to learn D365 functional topics or technical topics, they could benefit from these videos. And a few of my friends, they have also thanked that because of these videos they have learned new things, and they have alhamdulillah, they have secured good jobs. So that is all. I'm thankful to you guys, because you people are taking interest in the videos and suggesting me the topics. And I myself, I am also not perfect, might be, and some of the areas I want to also learn. So as soon as the topics are coming to me, I am also practicing and learning those things, and then recording the videos and uploading to the YouTube, so that also experience, as well as the new guys or new professionals in this technical or functional area, they could also learn those videos. So spreading knowledge is also a good thing for everyone. So there was a few suggestions about debugging the code, so I would make this session about debugging. So in front of you, you can see a runnable class. So what is a runnable class? Basically, I would first introduce you about runnable class. Runnable class is just like a job. In AX 2012, it was called a job. In D365, it is called a runnable class. So basically, it is a simple class which includes a main method. So the control of the execution will start from this main method, and it is taking arguments object as a parameter with the public access modifier. And static means static method does not need to be instantiated in a class, so it can be called directly by scope resolution operator with the class name. Scope resolution means double colon, like this, and then you can call the main method like this one. So this is as simple as that, no need of instantiating it. So uh, that would I would also put a line here, so that you can get idea how it will be called. Just put the class name and scope resolution operator and then main method. So whenever you need this method in other place, so you just need to, or any other method inside this class, so you can just call like this one. So anyhow, this is called a static method. The static method does not need an instance of the class, so it can be directly called. And this method just like works as a function. If you guys know about function in procedural language, because in object oriented these are called methods normally. Functions, they take certain parameters and calculate a few tasks and then return certain value on, or might not return a value. Then it will definitely perform a function only, and there is no need of returning value. Like this one is returning a void, means there is no variable type which is being returned, it is performing certain operation. So job or runnable class perform a specific function, and normally the programmers, they use this kind of class or job in X2012 to test their code to whether it will work in a certain instance of the class or a certain other functionality of any of the module. They want to just test their functionality first in runnable class, and then that code need to be transferred and changed or refactored as per the adaptation required in that specific area. So how you would create this class? It is simple. I will just if you know already that how to create a solution and project, I have covered this in my other videos, but this is simple. Just you need to create a new model first of all, after you are in Visual Studio, you just need to create a model, and through this model management, give a name, and then wizard will take you through the end. And I will show you here the existing model, which is PKR model. Okay, so this is the existing model, and in which you can refer existing packages or models, because there are certain AOT objects. AOT is application object tree, which is sort of a tree in which all the objects in which you work in D365 are located in organization wide, or you can say it is a better organization of the objects. So then every of the object will be inside certain packages or models. So that model, then if you are referring those objects in your project, so definitely you would want to refer those packages. Otherwise it will give you error, because it would not it will be unable to locate that object. So that those packages need to be referred here, tick mark, and then finish. So I have already referred. I will show you that how the objects are basically located inside the project. So you can see here that, for example, this class is located in application foundation, application suite, and in this way every of the object is located in a specific package or model. So that model need to be referred inside your own model, so that you can work on that object. So anyhow, that is a separate topic. In this one, I have created a runnable class. After you have created a model, then you would definitely create a new project using file and new option, and project. Inside project, you can choose D365 and finance operation in this template, and then you can give a name. After giving name, just press OK, and you will be taken to this solution explorer, where a solution will be created and a project will be created. So it will be empty. Then this class I have created, just like right click the project, go to the add option, go to the new item, and go to the code, and in the code you can see runnable class, or in the brackets it is written job, because it was previously called a job. So you just need to create that and give it a name and just add it. So in this way I have added this class, and it will be given a blank main method. So just in the main method I have written a small logic about try catch statement. And the try catch statement is very useful because you want to handle your errors in the code. That is the best practice. You would not want that compiler would out of no way should give an exception on error to the end user. That is very user friendly. So you need to just handle your errors. So if there is any errors due to certain user input or certain values in the variables or buffer, so those need to be taken care of. So this is an example in which I have introduced an integer variable and a real variable, as well as a string variable. These are all built-in data types. There are EDTs. EDTs are user-defined data types, which are basically extending these built-in data types. So here I am using only built-in data types: integer, real, and string. So in a string, a zero value is being assigned here, and integer and real will have no value, or will have a value of zero when it is just declared. So by default, the initial value is 0 for integer, and real 0.0 means this will be the initial value. And if I don't assign any value to the string, so there will be an empty value assigned to this. And for an object, when it is not instantiated yet, so initial value of null will be assigned to an object. So these are all initial values. So some people, some programmers, what they do, they still assign a zero value after declaring a variable. So it is useless. No need of assigning a zero value when already it is having a zero value. So this is just a redundant code, and there is no need of such code. So you just need to instantiate. So you just need to declare it, and then just there is a try statement. Try statement is used when you have put certain logic which you want to try using the try catch statement. So might be there is some error, So if there is an error, it will directly go to the catch statements. So there is a catch statement in which I have explicitly mentioned exception of type numeric. There are multiple exception which you can just use IntelliSense by putting a colon, and it will give you various values which you can find the exception by using these specific values. For example, there can be a duplicate key exception when there is an insertion to a table and that primary key already exists, and you are again inserting the same primary key value, so it will give you a duplicate key exception. In this way, there are multiple types of exceptions which you need to catch using the catch keyword. Once that exception occurred in try block, so definitely the catch of that specific error will be executed. So in this way, the info log will be seen, and a string format function is being used to display these two variables value. %1 and %2 means if the sequence of parameter of this one is first, so it will embed here, and %2 means the second parameter passed here to the string fmt function. So this variable value will be passed here. So it will just show you variable real and the value actual value, and comma variable integer string, and then actual value of this variable will be shown to the info log. Okay, then there is a statement in which I am incrementing by 1, that is a variable integer plus plus. This is equals to same like variable integer, and if you can put it like variable integer plus 1. So this is the same statement. So in shorthand, you just type here plus plus. If you want to put a minus, so just put a minus. So this will be just like this one. So this minus minus means one value means it will decrement by 1. So this is the same. So normally you keep it like variable integer plus plus, and then retry. What is retry? Basically, again it will go to the try block. If you want to change something here and then again want to attempt this code, so this can be done. So it can be sometime if there is a deadlock in updating a certain record, and there are multiple users who are also taking a right to they are locking the table. In that case, one user might not get the access right to write to the table. So in that case, you would like to retry again. So that can be possible. Even there can be other scenarios as well. So what is this catch statement without the explicit exception type? So by default, this catch statement will be executed just like if there is any other exception than numeric, so it will go to this catch statement. So if there is a numeric exception, it will go to here. But other than this, there are so many other exceptions which you have seen here in the IntelliSense. In those cases, it will directly go to the catch statement. So that is in case of any other exception. Finally will be executed in any case. So if you are not retrying, if you are retrying, so after executing, if there is a catch, I mean there is an error here, it will go to the any of the catch as per the scenario, and if there is no error, so the finally will be executed in all the cases. So this is the finally block. So in this way, the try catch statement works. So what is our topic today is to debug the code. So what are the basic steps to debug the code? Basically, there is certain settings which you need to do, and there is a breakpoint concept. Breakpoint is a place at which you want to stop the debugger, to stop it, and then you want to observe or watch or inspect the values. So how you use the breakpoints? By pressing F9, you just place your cursor and press F9 key, and it will mark as a breakpoint. Or otherwise, there can be just click on this gray area. It can also do the same thing. So if you again click it, it will be unmarked. So in this way, either you press F9 or directly click on this gray column. So it will mark it as a breakpoint. What is the second step? You can debug any of the menu item. menu item is the entry point, or you can mark it as a form can be debugged, or a runnable class in which there is a main method. So those can be marked as to debug those objects. So what are the steps basically? You need to basically first of all go to the class which you need to set as a startup object. So I need to do this set as a startup object either for right clicking the class or menu item or form and mark it as a startup object, or there is a setting in the project properties where you can go to the startup object and mark this as class. So there is a startup object type which can be menu item, action, display, output, or form, or any of the class, and then you need to select the class in your project whatever you want to mark it for debugging. Okay, apart from this there are certain settings which you can also see in D365, then options. So in this debugging you can mark your default browser whatever you want. Internet Explorer is still working without any certificate issues, but if you want you can also use Microsoft Edge and then use the load symbols only for items in the solution. So these PDB symbols will be loaded wherever your control will go. You just need to select this one. Okay, after you have put the breakpoint, what you need to do is just to start this project as a debugging. So that option is, if you go to the menu of debugs, you can see the start debugging or start without debugging. So both options are available. You need to start debugging from here. Also, it is important to note that you need to attach to process. This is also important. So what is it? You need to attach a process called W3, basically World Wide Web process or Internet Information Service process. You need to just untick this show processes from all users, and you need to go to the, you need to locate here show process from all users first. So basically, when you are basically actual running the browser, then at that time W3 process will be started. So that process will not show you until you run the browser, that is user interface of D365. So once that is running, at that time you can attach that process, so that if you want to debug within the user interface, so that option will be available, and then you can attach the process, and once attached then you can again restart in a debug mode, and then you can debug the code. So because what this IIS will be serving, the process of IIS will be serving the browser request. Just let me refresh. Okay, now you can see there is a W3 WP process, which is Internet Information Service process in order to serve the browser request. So you can then attach that process here, and it will load the symbols. But for now I don't want to debug in the user interface. I just want to show you the code in this class, runnable class. So I will just close this and stop it, and now I have marked the breakpoint here, and I have marked this as a startup object, and in the project also you can mark it same way. This is a startup project. Okay, and in the solution you can mark set startup projects. So here single startup project is also selected. So once you are done with this, you can go to the debug menu and start debugging, or press F5 in order to debug your code. So once the debugging has started, you can see the control like this one. So now our browser has also started here, and it is showing the class runner while running the runnable class called test class, and now the control is on the breakpoint which we have already set. And now you can observe also the variables value, which is now for integer it is 0 by default, and when you put on the real it is also 0, and for string it is basically null because it has yet to be assigned. So there are certain controls for debugging: step into, step over, and then step out. So what is difference between step into and step over? When you use step into, if there is a method call, so it will not go into the each line of code available in the method, means it will not enter into method, rather it will execute the method and will give the result in the same scope. But step basically that is step over, which will not go into the method, but step into will go inside the method. And then there is a step out. If you want to go outside of the method, so that is also possible. So that is step out. So these are different controls available. So you can also use the function keys in order to use this. So normally people they use F11. So now I will press F11. So the control, as you can see on the gray column, it is on the next line of a statement, that is try block. It has entered the try block, and you can see the variable string is being set after null. It is set to 0. So now within the block, you can see here there is a conversion of a string to integer, and then it is assignment to the integer value. So already it is 0, so the conversion will also assign the value to 0. I am just pressing the step into, that is F11. Okay, so now the integer value is assigned to 0, and now here there is a division by 0 error will occur here. So it means there is a 1 divided by 0. It cannot be, it will result in infinite, or it is not possible. So division by 0 error will be the exception. So which is not a kind of exception of numeric, because numeric normally are conversion errors. So that will not happen here. Conversion means that can be for example string to integer function, or string to real, or something like that. So those will be catered here. So once I step into this one, that is F11, so the next it is catching the error, which is not exception of numeric, because those are conversion functions, but it is division by 0 error. So the rest of just like rest of the error, it will go to the next statement. Meanwhile, I would like to also show you here the watch window at the bottom. In the watch window, if you are interested in any of the variable available in the scope of code, you can just right click upon that variable. That can be a table buffer as well. You can just right click and add to the watch, and it will show you the current value whenever the control is going forward on step into command. So it will be showing you the variable values. If it is changing, it will show the change value. If it is the same, it will show the same value. Also, like args object here, this is an instance of a class. So if you have added, I have added it here in the watch window. You can see here all the attributes of that instance or object are shown along with the values. So here these are different kind of variables showing the different values. Similarly, if there is a table buffer, so that the table buffer will show all the fields available in that table. So it is very useful to observe the values in the watch window. So once you are here, then you can go at the bottom, and now you can see there is an increment to the variable integer value, which is already 0, and now it has become 1. And at the same time, if I add this to the watch, I can observe here also there is one more function here. If you want to change the values, that is also possible. For example, variable string is having a 0 value through the code, but if I want to change it to the, for example, value of 6, and then press enter, so the value of variable of string will be 6 now. Through watch window, you can change the values to inspect certain behavior of the methods based upon those values. So same is possible for integer. So here I can put a 3 value. So now if you observe here, the value has been changed to the 3. So this is also possible. This is very useful watch window. Okay, so the next is variable real is showing 0, variable integer is 3. Through watch window, I have changed the value. So it will show me the info log on the right hand side. You can see This is the window in which the output value through the info log is shown. So variable real is 0.00, variable integer is 3. So what is next? Where the control goes from here? Just press F11 to step into, and it has entered the finally block. So in finally block, variable integer is decremented by 1. So the value has become 2, and you can see here with the red symbol to show that this is the new value, changed value, to highlight it to show you. And then info log has again popped up with a 2 value. So this is the whole scenario. In this way you can debug the class, and you can attach w3 wp process in order to see the debugging effect. And this is all for this session. I hope you have enjoyed, and if there are any comment, and this is I'm still step into. So again it has started. So anyhow, now if I want to stop it, I can just stop debugging here, and now it has stopped it. So this is the process. W3 process will run only when you are running a browser, so that at that time you can attach it first of all, and then at the time of debugging that process will be caught. So this is important. You need to put a breakpoint here, and you need to attach the basically w3 wp process .exe. You need to click here show process from all user, otherwise it will not be shown. So the process will not be shown. Here you can see w3 wp process, and this need to be attached here, and then the second time you can run that through the browser, or I mean the menu item or the class or the form, and then you can debug it from within the Internet Explorer. This is it, guys, and let me know if you have any feedback. And I have also put a survey on my channel, and I hope many of the people they have voted for technical classes. I will be scheduling those classes on either Saturday or Sunday, and I will give the schedule on YouTube community definitely. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.